So, namaste. Welcome to Satsang today. Mm. It's really good to be here together. Really, really good. And if you're new here in these teachings in the Satsang, you're really, really welcome. We are hopefully a very friendly family, and perhaps the most powerful aspect of Satsang is that when we're all here together sharing our journey, our our breakthroughs and our challenges along the way, it's just somehow easier than it would be on its own. And in my own journey, I never had this kind of family, and I'm just absolutely loving uh, walking this path with you. It's just beautiful when we all come together. So, what is satsang for? It's a word really that means to gather together in truth. And that's really all we're doing, we're gathering together. And there's some power that comes when we all spend time together with the same intention, which is to see more clearly who we really are, and perhaps more clearly who we are not. And with that becomes an embodiment of that awakening as we see and see and see what's true and see what's not true. Some of the old ways that we have thought about ourselves may be falling away. And as we gather together, that is an accelerated journey. Somehow we can help and learn from each other as we all share together in satsang. And it's something really, really special. There's so many other things we could be doing with our time right now. And yet, here we are at this stage in our awakening where we realize this is perhaps the most important way we could be spending our time, communing together like this in the truth. So there's something that's been coming up a couple of times this week, at least in the Sangha and in conversations I've had. So if it's going on within the community, it's probably going to be relevant for all of us to discuss. And I just wanted to take some time to see if we can clarify something that for me was very, very misunderstood along my journey and really made it a lot longer than it needed to be. And that is really looking at this subject of resistance. We all are here because we have a desire for authentic seeing and authentic being of this one one being that we really are. And yet at the same time, we're all going to have some resistance to this unfolding. Whether that resistance is conscious, we're conscious of it. I sit down and I want to do my meditation, but I just can't seem to settle. There's a lot of resistance going on. It used to be like that for me every single day. Or whether that resistance is unconscious, that we meant to meditate or do some contemplation, self-inquiry, whatever. And we lying in bed and realize that we've completely forgotten. Life just went by that day, and somehow we kind of it got overlooked. So if we can recognize that we're all going to have resistance and that resistance doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong. It's simply the fact that some part of us, the old sense of self, is trying to protect us and really believes that change in the way we see something is not a good idea. Human beings really, we constantly want things to be different than they are. And then we're actually somehow resistant to that change that we've been asking for when it starts to come. And for me, it was exactly the same. As awakening actually finally started to deepen, and I started to really realize which practices are effective in awakening. There was more resistance than ever. And I kind of, I don't know, I had thought that it would be the opposite. It would be the opposite to that as I was seeing more and more clearly who I really was, or even just, reading books about it or hearing people speak about it, there was more and more resistance. So I had to learn in the end to recognize that resistance, first of all, isn't personal. It's not my resistance or your resistance. It's just impersonal, actually. Every single human being along this journey will experience it at some point. And even just that was a huge shift when I realized that it's not my resistance that I need to get rid of. And I'm saying that because I spent a long time blaming myself. Why do I forget to do these practices that I know are really going to help? Why do I resist them, even if I do remember? Why, when I'm sitting to meditate, is my mind all over the place and my attention here, there, and everywhere? And actually, resistance, in a way, I had to come to see that it's a really good sign. It means that we really are deepening in beginning to see who we are. And that because of that deepening, whether we're conscious of the deepening or not, something inside of us is saying, hang on a minute, this might not be a good idea. If I go from realizing that I'm not this, not just this body and mind, that I am something much bigger, awareness or presence or beingness, silence, which is formless and everywhere and infinite, and all these forms are appearing inside that formless silence. Something was hitting the panic button saying, actually, I don't know if that's a good idea. And it seemed like I would have to give up every part of myself that I actually liked, or at least wanted to keep a hold of. There are plenty of parts of my old sense of self that I wanted to get rid of, that I would gladly give away in the awakening process. But I didn't even know if it was really safe to wake up to the truth. I had all these kinds of fears that I wouldn't be able to function in my life in all the roles I had to play and wanted to play. And would I even care about those things? So this resistance really got stronger and stronger. And the reason it lasted for so long and really seemed to kind of hit a pause button in the awakening journey was really that, um, first of all, I was keeping it as a personal thing. It's mine, and I'm responsible for getting rid of it. And actually, that was the only thing that was keeping it here, feeling like it was something that belonged to me, the apparent separate being that I used to think I was. It was so liberating to realize literally everybody experiences resistance to practice, procrastination, avoidance. When I was actually waking up, I had 4 small children at the time. And so it was easy not to really notice this kind of avoidance because I didn't really have very much time to practice. But as the kids began to grow up and I had a little more free time, that's when I really began to notice something is really avoiding doing any kind of regular practice that's going to be really effective. Firstly, because it felt like a doing. I felt like I was someone sitting down to meditate. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, or I'm trying to do some self-inquiry, and it just it just didn't flow. I'm sure you've all, um, or many of you have had that exact same experience where you can't even get yourself comfortable in the meditation seat because you can't quite get your cushions right. And so accepting that resistance is not really your fault can be a major turning point if we let it. And what if it's there as evidence of the fact that you are succeeding in your awakening rather than failing? And what if we don't even have to make it go away, resistance, but just to become aware that it's here and that it's not personal? So still, every now and again, I still experience some resistance to doing uh, some things like, I don't know, ironing clothes. I try to avoid it at all costs if I can. And other things like doing some of my yoga asanas and postures in the morning that I really like to do. It feels really good to move the body. But still, there's some resistance to it, even now. Every now and again, it pops up. But now it's just kind of seen. It's like, oh, hello, here you are again. You can come and practice with us. And it doesn't have the ability now to actually stop or interrupt the practice. It's just another thing that's along for the ride. So if I sit down to meditate, there's the birds singing in the morning, there's whatever sounds are going on, there's however my body feels, and then there might be some resistance, and it's all just here together. No need to get rid of anything or push it away. And when we do try to push it away, we're actually emphasizing a sense of separation from it, a division in our being from oneness into imaginary two-ness as me and my resistance. And it's actually impossible for it to disappear then. And what if, perhaps even more radical, we could have the realization that actually it's never been resistance that's been holding me back. But this sense of separation, when I try to get rid of it or blame myself for it, as if we chose it somehow. I mean, if we just sit with that for a moment, if you did, if you could choose whether to have resistance or not, you would have said no. You would have said no, thank you. I'm not. I don't really need resistance today, so it's here. We didn't choose it. And it's just this kind of energy. If we feel into what it really is, it's an energy that's just making things, trying to make things keep going the same way. And that can be a really useful thing, that it might be challenging to change a habit at first. Might be a good thing when we've established really good habits of our spiritual practice. So even resistance can work in our favor. When I finally got to the point where I could actually practice self-inquiry, for example, or contemplation consistently enough for it to really profoundly affect my life, it would be then really very hard to actually undo that habit because of the resistance to change. So the first is resistance to changing our old habits that are kind of not really taking us deeper into the truth of who we are. Then we eventually establish these good habits of spiritual practice each day, and we find it then really hard to break those, and that's good news. So if you've ever decided, tomorrow morning I'm gonna start some meditation and I'm gonna do it every day. And then 2 weeks have gone by, for me 2 months or 2 years once. Well, not 2 years, probably a year. And I realized I actually totally forgot, totally forgot. It went out of my awareness completely. If we can realize that that is impersonal, it literally happens to all of us and to all the great sages that have walked on this planet through the years gone by, and everyone that will wake up in the future years to the truth will all experience resistance, procrastination to practice, and some kind of avoidance. Why is that? Well, because there's this energy that wants us to keep things the same. And in awakening, our mind can't really see what's going on clearly, although it thinks it can. It thinks that you're going to have to surrender and let go of your old sense of self, sacrifice this sense of who we think we are, and then suddenly move into or become the infinite silence. And it's really just not true. In fact, it might be much easier than we have thought. Awakening really is only that we come to see what we've always been, this infinite silence. And there's no changeover in that. I don't have to let go of oneself and move into the big self. But the mind can't see that. Our mind can't really see that. It can only think about things. And it thinks that awakening is a dangerous process. It's going to cost us everything we want to keep about ourselves. But it's not really experienced as a changeover. Maybe you've started to feel in some way that there is more of a opening or an upgrade in the sense of who we are rather than a changeover. It's like I might realize that I thought I was just this body and mind, and then I begin to become aware that I'm actually so much more, and eventually everything. Still also this body and mind, but with a bigger definition of self, so that that self definition is including more and more. And so if we can be more gentle with ourselves when we find ourselves resisting or avoiding or procrastinating, realizing perhaps it's just as authentic a part of the journey to realizing and living as who we are and anything else we might encounter. And that it's not even our job to get rid of resistance, but just simply to become aware of it. Why did I forget? I made myself this promise I was going to practice, and then 2 weeks later, I realized I haven't done it. Why did that happen? And not that judgmental, beating yourself up thing that we all do. Why did this happen again? What's wrong with me? More of a, why did that happen? I'm really curious why I suddenly, when I was so intent on really sticking to this commitment I'd made to myself. Why is suddenly 2 weeks gone by and I haven't noticed? And recognizing there must be some thing inside that says it's not really a good idea to go deeper into awakening. Consciously, we might know that that's really not true. But deep down underneath, there might be this energy that's just trying to kind of gently work against that progress and deepening. From this sense that there is something we're going to really lose in this process. To being understanding of that, that this is some protective mechanism. And actually, it can be useful. It means that we don't change our habits too easily. So we're not just going to constantly go with the next thing that comes. And when I began to realize this, that this energy is just of resistance, is just trying to keep me safe. And that it cannot see the bigger picture of what's actually happening in awakening. That it's not a journey from here to here where I'm finally liberated and I have to let go of this old self. It's more like it's a journey from here to here, where I realize I am still this, but just so much more also. And it's just a return to our natural state of being. I'm saying this because I've heard so many times this past week people blaming themselves for resisting something. And again, did you even choose it? And if not, can you be blamed for its existence then? And can you get rid of resistance? Do you need to? What if it's just like another object in the room? Okay, there's resistance. That's kind of the awakened way anyway. When I'm aware of something, I can't be controlled by it. I can't be at the effect of it. So just to see it is enough. So I hope that that is helpful. And hopefully it shortcuts a long process of coming to terms with resistance and stopping pushing against it. We could all decide right now just to let it be here. Even right now, as you're listening, maybe something inside is saying, I shouldn't be here. I don't want to be here. And there's some restlessness in the body or something. Can we make friends with that just a little bit? Or a lot? So we have some time if anyone does have a question, something they'd like to ask, or if there's something you want to share or a challenge you're having in your awakening, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and love to have a chat with you. And just a reminder to keep your hand up on Zoom till we found you and sent a little prompt to unmute. Okay, so we'll go to Amna. Wonderful.
Hello.
Hi, love.
So nice. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Thanks. So nice to have like live sessions with you.
Thank you.
Thank
I have
you.
to tell you, um, the conversation we had in the community about 30 days of doing yoga asanas. I'm on day 30 today and I have completed
Oh,
it. So I'm celebrating. Just for context, it's been one area in my life. Amna and I were discussing in a class that I've never managed to achieve 30 days in. So, yeah, celebrating.
congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you doing to celebrate?
Probably more asanas tomorrow morning.
Um,
We'll see.
Thank you for sharing that. So earlier in the question and answer, it came up multiple times with different people, like this invitation to like go deeper. Um,
Mhm.
like the first one was about like to ask, why am I asking the question? Is it really true I'm safe? And then like to check in. And then the other one was the last one. I don't remember, but what is coming up in me is um like feeling that I need someone outside of me to ask me for me to be able to go deeper in myself. And um I would like that to be different.
Yeah.
I would not.
We could just spend some time with this and see.
Sure.
It's a feeling, isn't it? It's just a feeling that if I'm doing contemplation or self-inquiry with someone, if there's another body mind there, somehow I go deeper. And of course, it's okay and encouraged even to practice together. Um, but we don't want to be in that place where we feel we need and have to have someone there. We can enjoy it, of course, when there is someone there. But let's just sit with that then. Is that actually true that you can't really go deep on your own in your practice? Because it's a very common experience, isn't it? I certainly felt that way for the longest time. Let's just play with this then. Is it actually true?
Well, I have like I have my own experience. Like if I'm with someone, I can commit to a few hours and I can spend, but like by myself, like a few minutes, or even like my mind just doesn't honor the question, or
Mhm.
but with someone, like I honor it. Are you asking me like an inquiry question? Is it like all
Well, we could.
answered?
This doesn't need to really be any structure around this. We can just
Yeah.
see where it goes. Let's just look, at the any other things that want to arise when we check this out. Does it have to be that you have to have someone there in order to honor the question and actually spend some time with it?
I don't have to. It just feels safer.
Feels safer, yeah. So we're getting somewhere with this, right? My mind might say, I don't want to. I'm restless as soon as I sit down on my own to do some practice because it just feels a little risky or something. Like I might discover something or see something, and I don't want to see it on my own. Something like that.
Well, I mean, from the culture I come from, like you're not really allowed to. You're supposed to follow. There's that aspect too.
Yeah. So there's a sense of um, it might be safer together with someone else.
Like I give myself permission to go deeper because it feels safer.
Yeah. But that sense of safety, is it really coming from the other being? Or is it being felt inside you? Is that other being that you're practicing with in that moment giving you the sense of safety? Or is it just arising in that moment in your body?
Um, it's it's not coming from them. No.
So could it be present? Can we encourage it and cultivate that sense of safety, even when your body mind is sitting on its own to practice. If it's not even coming from that other person that's with you, helping you, then
Yes.
do you actually even have to have that body mind there? Maybe even just to think about that person and a good practice you've already done together, some sense of safety might come.
I like that suggestion.
Hmm. And for me, it was also about honoring having that desire and that intention, as you said, to be able to sit and practice myself um, in a way and for the length of time I wanted to. But honoring how my body wanted to do it that day. If it just wanted to ask a question 2 or 3 times, okay, that's great. And I'd like it to be longer next time, but I can honor what that experience was today. I don't have to reject that immediately.
I experience it as a failure.
How do you know it's a failure?
That's a good question. Because it doesn't look like I I want it to look.
Hmm. What if the success, though, is the fact that you showed up at all for practice, not how long it lasts or how peaceful it is, or how many deep insights you have or something?
I like that. So going back, I have a lot of like fixing and doing. There's a lot of that. Just in case you can't pick on it, pick up on
I
it.
might have had that before already, yeah.
Um, yeah, so like how can I cultivate that more? Because I
I
don't
see.
I don't go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
It's okay. I'm good.
Just just to to recognize that what's got you this far is going to get you the rest of the way. That desire to really see clearly who you are and to live like that. Why should something go wrong now in the process? For me, holding that intention and also being okay with how the practice went today was that nice balance. I would have liked it to have been longer, but I'm just glad I showed up today for practice. That was like this magic way of sitting with it. So I was saying I'd like it to be more consistent and um, longer than just, 30 seconds or 2 minutes. But if that's what happened today, at least I showed up for practice. And I had to turn that into my definition of success. And I even had to scale that back if I didn't show up for practice and forgot, but I wanted to. Even that, I said, okay, that's my success baseline.
That's so sweet. I would love to have those baselines over here.
It's entirely, I'll give them to you and anybody that wants them because nothing ever really changed by berating myself and judging, you know. I tried that for so long. You've probably tried it for so long. We've all done it. Does it work?
Mm. There's also like, I notice generally, like if I make a commitment to someone, even if I don't want to, and even if I'm tired, and even all of it, I'll show up. But with me, like it's not like that. I don't really honor, like if I don't really take it seriously with myself.
Yet. You don't take it seriously with yourself yet. But as it starts to get deeper anyway, because what's gonna really speed your awakening is the intention and the desire. The consistent practice will come along the way and the ability to practice. just as deeply on our own as when we sat, all together at retreat or something. But what's really doing the magic, this intention, it's a magic wand. If we only had a glimpse of who it really is that's intending, we would really respect ourselves a lot more. We would show up with the same reverence for ourselves that we have for others, the same commitment. How do you know that you're not worthy of reverence and respect?
Because I wasn't treated that way.
Is that a good enough baseline for you to make that decision now? It's a big question, I know, but it's one that kind of affects us all. At some point, we can decide, you know what, I think I'm going to treat myself the way I treat everyone else and celebrate the fact that I'm actually wanting to do this and spend time, devote time to this. I don't have to define myself by how long the practice is or whether it even happens at all or how fruitful it seems. We're not responsible for that, only for the desire and the intention. And you have that.
Can I have what?
And you have that desire and intention
Oh,
already. It's a done deal. You have the one thing you need.
like that's enough.
Yeah. You're here in Satsang. You're asking a question. That shows commitment to yourself, right? Why would you turn up and ask a question if you weren't really interested in committing to this journey that you're taking? If you weren't really referencing yourself with the same, somewhere inside at least, with the same respect. If you look at the history of any sage or awakened being, it all started from this exact same place. Resistance, avoidance, not being able to, not feeling like I can do this by myself, all that stuff.
So I'm I'm doing okay.
Really, really okay. You're just using the wrong things to measure how you're doing.
Yeah, in some sense, I feel like I'm regressing. Like in one sense, I feel like I'm progressing, and in another sense, I feel like I'm regressing.
Totally normal. I spent 99% of my awakening feeling like I was going backwards, but somehow it was still working. What
Okay.
if you say, I'm going to reset my baseline, and tomorrow, if I have the urge to practice, I'm going to chalk that one up as success today. I did it. Great. If you actually sit down and do some practice, that's just an extra bonus. Yeah.
Then I've been doing amazing.
Like I said,
Super awesome, if that's the
yeah, top of the class.
yeah.
It's just, if we understand that we're not choosing our actions in the way that we think we are, then if the body decides to sit down and spend 10 minutes with a contemplation question or go and watch the TV instead, uh, we had the urge or the intention to practice, and that's all we can really be responsible for. Actually, even not that, that's just going to arise on its own also. You literally cannot mess this journey up.
I'm so so grateful that my capacity for curiosity has like deepened. Like I'm so grateful for that.
That's a really, really good sign. If I could do 30 days of yoga asanas, you could do 30 days of just having the urge to practice, right?
Oh, I have the urge to practice more than 30 days in a row. The
Perfect.
urge is there. Whether it happens or not, that's another story.
It doesn't matter. At some point, it will happen consistently and continuously. It's not your job to make that happen.
I'm voting for you coming back for once a week. That would casting the first vote.
Okay, duly noted.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Um, we'll go to Nate. You're still muted there, Nate. Oops. There we go.
Thinking about something we discussed a year ago because I think I want some reassurance.
Yeah.
So when you talk about resistance is not personal, it's just like a feature of this system.
Yeah.
And,
It's part of the
and
software, right?
for the software,
Mm.
the nicest way I heard it said was we've all been given a shopping cart with a wheel that won't go straight.
Yep.
It's not my fault. It's, it's a feature, not a bug. And you said also, like, the one is I'm looking through a pair of binoculars. It seems personal, separate. But if I can move back, at least have the sense or the awareness of the one that is looking through the binoculars before this comb down view comes. So in a way, you're always reminding us that, like, if I want to solve a problem with someone else, I'm starting that there are two of us,
Mm.
that I'm going to have a hard time coming to a happy resolution. So and I can see all these beliefs in separation are dissolving, and that is bringing me peace. But there's also this sense or understanding that there's a uniqueness here.
Yeah.
And I've been comfortable with the mind sees we're one and we're unique as a contradiction, but in the absolute, both are possible, both are true.
Yeah. Unique. We are unique and individual, but not separate expressions of this absolute, whatever we're calling it. And that was half of the resistance for me, is I thought that I would have to lose that uniqueness and individuality along the way. Somehow I'd have to give it up. And some of it I wanted to give up. I really wanted to get rid of some parts of myself, but some I wanted to keep. Um, this core sense of being Helen, I kind of like it. But it's not, it doesn't make me separate to you or anyone else. It's just, well, we've used many analogies, all the different waves on the ocean surface. None of them are separate to each other. The waves are separate to the ocean. We've also used this analogy of a shining jewel that's got an infinite number of faces, this jewel. And each one of these faces is a unique and individual, never the same anywhere else on this jewel. And without any one of these, the whole thing would be impossible because it's made up of all these faces, facets. And
That's a great analogy.
it really helped me actually. It's that every single one of us is unique and it will never be repeated in the same way. But that individual doesn't actually mean separate. you know, I'm a word nerd, right? And I looked up the etymology of it. Indivi means indivisible, and jewel means two. So it's looks like two, but it's really the indivisible. The individual doesn't mean separate at all. It never did. It means a unique sculpture and a unique painting that on the canvas of life that we are.
Yeah, so that for me is has to be true, but it's really reassuring to hear you affirm that because it's easy to slide into a sense of my uniqueness is like a form of ego. I'm claiming some kind of egoic property and trying to hang on to that, which is an illusion.
If you look at it, what makes us unique and individual is always what we really love. What is totally impersonal about all of us is this sense of separation and this egoic sense of me and mine, right? That's universal. Every single human being experiences it. But the mind flips it the other way around, like this egoic part, this egoic sense of self is the bit I really need to keep. And it's really not. Actually,
Mm.
what makes us unique and individual and amazing expressions of this oneness can shine even brighter after the sense of separation has disappeared or is disappearing, as I'm sure you're starting to experience, right? Some different things happening for you.
Yeah, so I've got a group of people that I meet with for spiritual discussions and friendship, and often a few of us will get together and comment on something we love about one of the other members. And if we will perhaps give them that compliment, often they're confused or because, and I can remember someone did that to me once. I had met them only a couple of times. And they said, Nate, you're so kind. And I said, how would you know this?
Really?
We
Yeah.
just
You're
met.
like, they're talking about the right person. Yeah.
I never did anything for you. And I can see that's how the mind is. So that's a great example. The mind was thinking, what did I do for this person that they would call me kind? And that's, of
People,
course, not what we're seeing.
yeah. Some friends used to say to me, you have a really great way of explaining things about awakening. And I was like, really? And they said, oh, you should teach this. And I'm like, you've obviously not really met me, you know. But because we've always had these things right from day one that make us unique, a unique way of expressing, it's just
It's,
always been how we are, and we don't even notice it until someone else points it out. Then
you know,
we go, oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
my best friend said to me a couple of years ago, he said, I just wish you could see yourself the way I see you. Working on that.
Work in progress,
Earlier,
yeah.
work in progress.
Mhm.
You told me earlier today that it's nothing wrong with wanting or enjoying compliments. Because I had somebody I was saying that's my Achilles heel. I want to be complimented on my wisdom.
Mhm.
And so I would say, well, nothing wrong with that. I thought, no, there's got to be something wrong with that. But what I'm sensing now in it is that we all have this specialness, and that this is the compliment is not creating the specialness, but it's an affirmation
Yeah.
of what's already there.
Yeah. So everyone else can see
Yeah.
about us what we're not yet willing to see. And somehow that freaks us out because we think if I accept a compliment, first of all, for me, I couldn't. It felt so terribly, I would just be squirming. Even when I was first teaching, I wanted to run away when people started saying thank you, and because it was something I wasn't really willing to see in myself yet. It was easy to feel, oh, they're obviously deluded in what they think they're seeing.
Yes.
Then actually accepting might be true. So I'm really glad
Well,
you're
I was
starting to be willing to accept it.
mhm. Yeah. Grab him, hold him down for and give him a compliment.
Before you can run away.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we'll go to Shafali. Hi, love.
Hi, Helen. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
wonderful.
my window disappeared. Okay. So interestingly, I've been missing a lot of satsangs since I joined the job. But interestingly, today, I just kept getting reminders of today's satsang. Like sometimes on YouTube, on what, like, as if I was supposed to be here. And then you talked about resistance. It's showing up a lot here. And it's showing up as a lot of fatigue to the point that I'll sit and I'll be so tired that I'll be sleepy. And then it's showing up as impatience, irritation, all that stuff, right? It can show up probably in countless. And the biggest is fatigue.
Mm.
Uh, so I can't get up. And then if I sit, I feel like sleepy, right? And so I'm not like, I feel like I'm not here to get something from you. I just want to share like a friend
Mm.
that I'm going through this. And you tell, as a friend, you tell me, like, I know you already said it about resistance, right? Okay, don't take it personal, but like anything else about accepting it.
As a friend, I'd say it sucks, right? You miss that thing when you really want to be there. And as a friend, I'd say it will pass. It'll come and go like everything else, this fatigue. And when I was really starting to wake up and see more clearly who I was, I used to always back in the UK decide I'm going to get up early and watch the month of satsangs that Muji used to do in India, the free satsang. And I set my alarm every morning. I want to get up and want to watch. And one year, um, I never sleep through my alarm ever. It never happens because I'm such a light sleeper. But I wake up and it's daylight, the birds are singing, my alarm's still going off. And I hadn't heard it. And it started to be like this all the time. That I think I caught maybe a week out of the whole 4 weeks. The rest I had to watch later. Um, and what is it that made me miss so much of that? It was just being so unkind to myself. Like, this is the one thing I really want, awakening. Why can't I even get out of bed? I'm sure you've had those same, we've all had those same thoughts. And finally, I just had this realization that it doesn't matter whether I watch it live or watch it on replay, I'll catch it sometime. And I just thought maybe this will just go on for as long as it goes on for. And in that kind of acceptance of it, it just stopped happening.
That's so beautiful. Like you said, it's not personal, right? And you said something in the satsang today about the more, funny enough, the more deeper we go, the more it comes. Because when I first, maybe a couple of weeks when I joined the job, I had this getting up 4:30 and the sweetest 20 minutes of meditation, 20, 30, whatever, sweetest. Come third week, sorry, so sorry.
It's
Come third, crashing down,
okay.
something or the other coming up, right? And those were like those 2 weeks. I was like, now I'm on the roll. This is never ending. The sweet, because those 20, 30 minutes was the sweetest time of ever, right? And yeah, so, and now that I don't know.
What if it's not something going wrong, though? What if it's an opportunity for you to love yourself even more? So I didn't get out of bed this morning to meditate, so be it. No big deal.
And it will not derail.
No.
I know it's a silly question, but will it not derail the
What if your meditation that day is how much focus you put on blaming yourself? You know, when you're at the office later, things aren't quite going as smoothly, and your mind said, see, if you'd have got up and meditated, the whole day would have just, you know.
exactly what it says? Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been there, done that, you know, with the four kids being small. It's like if you'd have meditated, this wouldn't be happening. This day would have gone really smoothly. But it's an opportunity then to just say, okay, probably that's probably true. I probably would have had a smoother day if I'd have got out of bed earlier, but I didn't. So am I going to carry that with me for the rest of the day, or am I going to say maybe it'll happen tomorrow? Like we were saying with Amna, it's enough for me that there's already this intense desire in you, right, to do it. And maybe you actually just need some more sleep while you're getting used to this new job and all the new ways of doing things.
No, I think I needed to hear that because I did notice one thing. Like I'm going to the job and then I got scolded in office. And as a new hire, telling someone I can't come to office because I'm not well was strange. But then this inner voice came, and probably that's a shift. I'm doing my best. And I know there's no doer here, but at least just hearing that voice again and again, I'm doing my best. I think that's a shift you're talking about, right?
Huge. That's huge because you either get out of bed or you don't in time to meditate, or you either make it to work or you don't if you're sick. But what you say about it to yourself afterwards is always in your control. The first thought might be some judgment of yourself, but then the second thought, it's up to you, isn't it?
I mean, of course, a part of me wants the fatigue to just go away. My routine comes back, right? But if I can, I due to lack of words, if I can fall in love with not like however it's showing up, I
Yeah.
would love that.
The fatigue is your satsang right now, isn't it? It's going to stay with you until it's taught you everything it has to teach you about self-love, and then it will go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah, that feels very true. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, love. Good to talk to you.
Good to
Wonderful.
talk.
We'll go to Mitra. So we'll take the hands that are up here now, and then we'll bring it to a close. Okay.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, love.
Nice to see you. I
Nice to
also
see you.
miss you so much. I
It's
can.
good to be here. Good to be here together.
um, you talked about resistance. I raised my hand to ask a question about a different matter, but talking about resistance, oh boy, I don't think I have ever resisted anything more than TTM course. Like I'm stuck in chapter 8. I had literally had ear block for a week. I couldn't listen, and then I got sick, like things like that, like beyond even imagination. And fear of missing out is what is coming out. But I just said to myself yesterday, I was much sicker than today, and I said, look, just leave it. It's okay. Let just miss out on this course. Like I just cannot even, it's time the excuse for me, and then physical problems. Anyway, I'm just, you have no idea how bad I feel about missing out on TTM, but I said to
How,
myself,
how
even
do you know
if
you
I
missed
do,
out? How do you know you missed out? Just because you
well, the
didn't show
whole
up at some sessions.
I couldn't show up on the sessions because the time wasn't right for me, like about 3 o'clock in the morning here. But I used to listen, and do my homework until
But
chapter 8. And then,
what if chapter 8 of this book that we went through is just asking you to pause and really work through some stuff before you move on? What if this isn't failure? Like, okay, I've stopped and I'm never gonna seem to get back to it again. You notice how the mind goes to the worst case scenario. Oh, I've dropped it, and I'm out of sync now with everybody else, and I'm never going to catch up. But what if you've already heard everything you needed to hear in those weeks that you have studied the book, with us in the community? And what if your body is sick because it's saying it's time to slow down?
Yes.
We don't need to be so. Um, the passion and the dedication we have to awakening is beautiful, and of course I see it in you and everyone. But if there's one thing I wish that I could have done more in my journey, it would be to have some more fun and give myself a break. Can you celebrate that you showed up for as much as you could of it, right? If it's 9 weeks, you made it through 8. That, look at where the focus is. It's always on this last bit for us, right? That we didn't manage to do, instead of all this over here that we did manage to do. Can we celebrate that instead?
I miss a lot more than that. Chapter 8 will be stage 4, so I miss a few after, but it's okay, as you say.
Still.
Yeah.
You heard everything you need to hear in the first week. The rest is just an explanation of it stage by stage. So my point is, though, it's going to be that our focus somehow always defaults to what we didn't complete, what we didn't do, what we didn't finish, and not to what we did achieve, what we did commit to, and what we did manage to focus on. And every time I needed to slow down and wouldn't let myself, there'd be something that happened. I'd get sick, or when I hurt my shoulder, or I got flat tires on my car, so I couldn't go what I was going to do what I was going to do until I got the tire fixed, and life would just make me slow down because I was just like, constantly.
Same. Yes.
And we're all like that. So what if this is your body's way of saying you've absolutely done enough? Now just let it settle, let it cook, let it simmer.
Yeah, and it's showing me more and more that things are not in my terms, right? Like as a separate self and a stubborn separate self. I wanted to be in control of everything, everything. Should be organized, this should be organized. Everything has to be organized. Like otherwise I wouldn't feel safe or whatever. And I've been on it by myself because I've run my life by myself. I haven't got, any support, and I've been like a runner. And this is now showing me it's not in my terms. Like, just back off. That's very strong message, and I'll get sick if I don't. Nah.
Or maybe this is the effortlessness of who you really are starting to come to the forefront, that seeing has happened enough that already it's starting to have an impact in that I don't need to be constantly in motion to prove that I'm good enough, or to reach awakening, right? It's maybe it's different, and something has already started to really go deep inside that, and it's now coming back out as more effortless, more ease, more relaxation. That it's already having this effect, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Helen. And I was wondering if there is time that I ask the real question I had. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick if you can. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been a smoker for more than 20 years, and I've been warned by doctors 4 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, and I ignored it, of course. And now I just did a couple of weeks ago, I did a medical test and something is alarming. And this time I know, I have to repeat the test. But I thought, I feel like it's the time to quit now. It's just no excuse. Stop it, like smoking, like nicotine. And I started listening to an audio book about it, and it said something very interesting. It said every smoker lit a cigarette to end the unsafe feeling and the restlessness that the previous cigarette actually um, has created. So it's in this loop and it resonates. I can't remember how used to feel 20 years ago, but I think it was a lot less restlessness in my system. Now I recognize it. I totally recognize it. And I can sit with it. It's the issue is two things. One is the fear of what happened 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, when I tried to quit, I had this sensation in my mouth for 5 months, 24/7. And it was like a kind of sucking sensation. And then I reflected, when did I even pick up smoking? When I was very fearful for my life. And I thought probably this sucking sensation is to do with my mom, breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and that gives me that kind of thing. And then I realized that I didn't have enough of that because when I was 1 year old, my mom got pregnant with my brother and then she took it away. And then I thought, well, maybe that's why I don't have a good relationship with my brother, all that coming off.
Mhm.
And which I haven't. We don't have a relationship right now. And so all of these are coming, but the fear of going back to that 5 months, I mean, this might not happen this time. I got sick. That's interesting that I can't smoke now as many as I would love to. But I'm listening to the book. I'm with the sickness. I'm smoking less, but this sensation is here. And the fear of, again, confrontation of that 5 months that I gave up and I started smoking again. Yeah, I
You could
thought if
ask,
anything.
yeah, you could ask why that sensation was there and what it was trying to tell you last time, right? Spending some time with that question. What is this here to show me? And if I can see that, and maybe you've recognized some of it already, maybe it gave you a sense of actually smoking gave you that sense of temporary comfort. And then is there a healthier way, a gentler way for the body to get that same sense of comfort?
Mhm.
So we're not denying there's something that came from the smoking. It gave you something, but is there a better way? For me, with alcohol, it was for many, many years, it helped me calm down, it helped me relax, but eventually it became the problem in itself. So I started to ask, what am I actually getting when I do this? And is there a healthier way to have this same feeling in my body? And that was when I was getting that same kind of feeling from when I moved to meditation, it began to develop that way. So this old habit was able to just disappear easily. It wasn't a difficult process then because it was time. I didn't feel like I was losing anything. So maybe you could ask, what is the easiest and simplest way to feel and the healthiest way to feel a sense of safety and comfort? And see what happens.
I have done a contemplation on safety for, I started 1st of May, so about 40, 44 days or something like that, constantly, like every day.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And now just from that knowingness that you ultimately are safe, as the awareness, as the silence, and that open question, how can I help my body feel safe? How can I help my body get the message also that I'm safe? Right? Because it's really why we do these things, isn't it? Because we don't feel safe or we don't feel good enough and we're trying to compensate with some external thing.
Mhm.
So just saying with that question, how can I allow my body to feel relaxed in a healthy way and feel safe in a healthy way that's good for me, that's good for
Mhm.
the body? You might be quite surprised what happens when you just ask that question.
So you mean like a question that just, it's not a contemplation question or inquiry question, just a question during the day, just
Yeah.
to see what comes up, right?
Yeah, and just noting down anything that comes up because your body wants to make this shift away from it anyway, right? From
Yeah.
smoking. Your body wants to do that, and we're just
Yeah.
helping the body make that shift. We said, okay, I recognize I was getting something from this on some level. How can I get that in an easier, safer, healthier way that works
Okay.
with my body? Yeah. And
So
then
for something
the
to
switch
just
over,
come up.
yeah, the switch over doesn't have to be so difficult then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not saying this to do every day, like asking
Yeah, you just need
what
to
is helpful today.
just do it once,
Should to do it once, yeah,
but just
okay.
sit there when you've got some time and just sit with a pen and paper,
Yeah,
see what arises. Or
okay.
maybe you just get the urge to go take a walk or something. And you feel
Mhm.
yourself walking vigorously and you're taking some nice, rich, deep breaths and you feel calmer that way. We don't know what will happen, but the
Yeah,
body will
okay.
naturally assert its own intelligence and what's better for it.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you,
Helen.
love. Good to talk to you.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll go to Michelle.
Okay, I'm muted now.
There we go. Wonderful. Hi, love.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. My first satsang with you.
You bet.
Um,
Welcome, welcome.
Truly amazing to just feel so already in on this journey with you and the Sangha. Um, when somehow there was this permission to join the Sangha, and I have been on this journey a long time. Long, long time, many modalities, very involved. So what rose immediately was not another.
Yeah, mine says, oh, I can't even begin to hope that this might be the one and be disappointed all over again. Yeah. I can't
Exactly.
do it anymore. Yeah.
And that's kind of how it feels like. I'm so tired. I was so tired. And then I had a welcome committee member, and she had told me about the your podcast, and and I love to walk, and listening to podcasts. Somehow you said there's no becoming, and it was like I was like, oh God, thank God. Thank you. There's no more coming. And like this feeling like there's sort of this, I don't want to know anything, and somehow I want to know something, like a kind of a conflict. Like I'm too tired to know anything.
That's the perfect place to hang out. That's where I ended up eventually also. Let's just not know anything together for a little few minutes here. If you wanna, let's just, and everyone can do it. Let's just not know what we are or what we aren't. I just I don't need to pick and hold something up, right? Can we just be here together? Can you get a feeling for it? Just like even as we're talking now, do we have to try to get something from this? Can we just be meeting each other and enjoying the meeting?
Yeah, so beautiful.
Immediately there's a sense of, oh, just here we are. And maybe this is exactly what we've been trying to chase out there. It's like, let's just be it now. Let's just, we don't need to get anything from this conversation. We don't need to remember anything from it. We don't even have to say anything intelligent. We can just be here, all of us. We're not constantly trying to extract something from this moment and just actually enjoying it. You can feel your whole body say, yes, actually, I like
Yeah,
it.
it's like saying thank you.
Yeah. And that's the lack of becoming, right? I'm not becoming anything. I already am everything that I could be in this moment. Nothing that we say in this conversation is going to enhance who you are, is it? It's just some of the words might help us to just kind of slow down and actually enjoy who we already are.
Yeah, like just the permission to end the trying. Just
Yeah. That's why we feel so tired. We literally have already begun to shift into this knowing of who we are, whether we realize it or not. That it costs us too much to try, and we literally don't have. When we thought we were a person, we could muster up this sense of a someone that would force ourselves to try to do one more modality, one more retreat, one more whatever, one more book. With that tiredness, it's also a kind of effortlessness, isn't it? I can't, don't want to do that anymore. Something's already just slowing right down and saying, yeah, this moment here is enough right now. I'm just going to taste it more and more often. And somehow that'll just become a permanent way of being by itself.
yeah, I'm trusting just keep coming back to that.
And not
It's
even,
not like him coming back.
yeah, just,
It's like already.
yeah, it's just here.
It's more like just sinking and just
Yeah, and eventually it was just as simple as, oh, let me take a breath. My body's feeling tight again. I must be trying to get somewhere. Let me just stop and take a breath, and here I am again. And I'm not checking in and being here so I can finally stay here even. It's just nice to
yeah.
be here.
It was really helpful also for the talk you had on the dropping the labels and the naming.
Mm. Yeah, you end
It
up
was
back.
like I couldn't even see a tree. I saw only my idea of the tree. And then now I don't even want to have a name.
Mm. You can still say the word tree or Michelle, right, if you need to. It's like, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have any weight on it. It's just a word floating around in the ether. And everything begins to just be experienced more just like this. It just feels like this moment. The tree feels as open and spacious. Even fear eventually or something feels just as spacious. And it's just returning to our natural state, right? You can feel this is completely natural.
Yes. I couldn't even say this is what I always wanted. It was just always here.
Mm.
It wasn't like a want. I wanted something.
It's Meister Eckhart used to say, I am, discovered that I am what I wanted and I want what I am.
Mm.
It's so beautiful.
Mm. I'm looking forward to our 5 weeks together.
Beautiful, yeah. It's going to be just 5 different ways to feel like this. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having the I think it does take, I was going to say courage, but I think it does take courage the first time to just give yourself permission to just be here together. So thank you for that.
I had to work through some fear of showing up as weird, strange, silly, dumb, because I know goes public. That just was like,
Well,
I know.
if we're gonna look dumb, we'll do it together. How about that? If anyone's gonna be the dumbest or most goofiest, it'll be me because I don't know what's gonna come out this mouth from one moment to the next. We'll find out. Yeah. One of the best things that awakening has given me is that capacity to just like nothing can make me shrink in that way. If I say something really embarrassing right now, it would just be like, oh wow, look at that. And it wouldn't be that recoiling that used to happen,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
oh, why did I do that? You know, right? And that's just gone, and I love it. And sometimes I'm even aware I'm making a fool of myself right now, but I'm having such a good time. It's great. Yeah. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay, we'll finish with Savitri.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, love. Good to see you.
um, Good to see you too. Twice in a day. What a treat.
I love Thursdays when we get to all be together in the community and then here as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, the last month's been a jumble because I don't know if I even shared this with you, but I fell down. An escalator jolted me forward at JFK Airport, and I fell down. And I just got back from the doctor half an hour ago, and I have a broken leg.
Wow.
And it's been so much pain. It's like these knives just ripping the skin off of my legs. And it's been so much pain, and so much feeling of vulnerability. And who is it that's feeling these things? Who is it? Is it just a bundle of sensations and intense pain? And I'm trying to see what I'm supposed to learn from it, what it's catalyzing for me. And I mean, at times I can also just realize that I'm just watching the whole thing like a movie. But at other times I'm very, very identified with, and now I have this whole broken leg thing. I've got,
No, that's a
that was
journey in itself, right? It's going to be a whole, yeah.
misdiagnosed. I mean, I've been walking around, but it's just, I'm really grateful to be alive, and I'm really grateful that I can walk around still, and that my wounds are healing slowly and so forth. I'm very, very grateful that I still have my body. But it brings up the question, like, who is it that's feeling so vulnerable, that's feeling just like, whoa, this incredible amount of pain when I try to stand up, and the
Mm.
throbbing pain. It's like it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a real person kind of experiencing all of that. I'm not, I can't say that I've like dissociated so much that I'm like now resting and established in my pure being. So I just wondered if you had anything to help me get some realization out of this, get some mileage of realization out of this experience.
Uh, for me, in my own experience, intense physical pain taught me that, well, it actually destroyed an illusion that I still had about what it is to be awakened, and that would be that there is some place where I'm always just watching, which is true, right? I'm watching this smaller sense of self really reject this experience and really not like it intensely and want it to go away. But I had to let go of this idea that in the middle of intense physical pain, I should always be able to just kind of rest as the infinite silence and be, oh, it's okay. My body's in a great deal of pain, but I'm just totally okay here. That somehow I would even be able to be totally accepting of intense physical pain. And I hurt my shoulder so bad um, that there was just this constant pain for this. And it stayed until I really, really began to understand that there are going to be some moments where I really identify as a person and really reject this with everything I've got. Like, I don't like this. I don't want this. I can't cope with it. It's too much. Those kind of attitudes that come. When I finally got to that place where that was just as okay as being detached and watching completely peaceful, where I was raging in intensity at why is this happening and when is it going to stop? I can't cope. I'm going to go insane with the pain. To this is not affecting me at all. I'm just watching. And I didn't care to choose which one of those was more spiritual and which one would go away, should go away. It somehow shifted in that there was an ability to be with the pain then. But because I was rejecting this part that's rejecting, there was a core division still within imaginary division, duality, and that was what was really making it really unbearable. So all of this is to say, it pushed me to the point where I accepted every single reaction I could have to this pain, whether pretty and spiritual, I can meditate my way through it, or whether just crying and screaming, I need it to stop. It has to stop. I can't take it anymore. I didn't think that place would exist during, in the awakened way. There's still room for that kind of reaction. There's no way of saying no to it from the real place. Something is going to really always dislike physical pain and reject it. It's part of being a human being, isn't it? We'd all rather feel bliss than pain. So when you have those moments where you're really, really pushing against it, can you just say yes to that and make space for that? Not judge yourself for that.
Yeah.
Who says how you're supposed to get through this? Who says how awareness will look and act as a human being when you go through something so incredibly painful? We spoke before about the grieving process, right? And it was very similar that we don't know what that's supposed to look like either. And for me, things like this stayed in my life until I arrived at the point where it looks like whatever it looks like now. It's supposed to look like whatever it looks like in this moment, however I'm being with this. Really calm and peaceful, or really not calm and peaceful. This is how it's supposed to be right now.
Yeah, I had the good grace of wondering if I was going to die as I'm falling down all those knives. and that, you know, my whole life is going through my head, and then I'm wondering if I'll ever walk again. And, you know, it was like this whole, the longest fall of my life. And then when I started having the pain, it's unusual that, like, I was so grateful to just be experiencing anything, you know, like it was an honor to experience the pain in a way,
Still
because
here. Yeah, I'm still
I'm
here.
still here. Yeah, it was kind of a saving grace of like, I'm still here, and still able to, you know, express through this life and this being. So yeah, that helped me a lot through the death of my loved one, when you were asking me to just like bring it all in, you know, just bring it all in, allow it to just be, and don't, you know, that the pain of that would be more so when I'm going like that. And it's really served me during this experience as well. It's just being, and I've had actually some of the most beautiful and intense prolonged periods of stillness during this time, because I wasn't out working and doing all those things for a while, and so I had a time to meditate a lot and just kind of become more established. So there's many blessings around it, but
Wonderful. That
that's
was something else I was going to say is, as well as what was already said, just taking a moment to see what good things are coming from this, as you've pointed to already, because we tend to, like when I hurt my shoulder so bad, I actually finally had to ask someone to help me even get dressed. You know, couldn't do anything. And at first I hated that I had to ask for help. I couldn't do it. But actually I had to admit that a lot of good things changed in that time when that pain was so bad. Because it kind of resets everything, right? Everything that you thought was an issue before, it's like, no, this is this is suddenly what's here. Everything else is like small stuff then. Yeah.
exactly, yes,
It
that's,
sounds to me like you're using it as well as you can already. And
yeah, I just wish I could have seen, like, use my seeing abilities, not been there when it happened.
yeah,
But it's what it is, and I'm grateful to be here still. So, and grateful especially to be here with all of you, and with you, Helen. Thank you so much.
we're glad you're still here. Yeah. And obviously we're being watched over even despite anything else that's going on. Yeah. Thank you so much, love. Thank you. Beautiful. What a wonderful place to finish for our satsang tonight, or whatever time it is where you are. And as always, I just want to say thank you for all of your authentic sharing and your presence here. You know, as we said to start off with, there's something really special that happens when we all gather together. And even if we never say a word or we're too scared to raise our hand and ask a question, our presence here, something magical is happening in that. There's just one being, all these body minds can deepen in the seeing of who we really are much more quickly when we spend time together like this. So it's so, so valuable. And nobody gets more out of satsang than me, honestly. I'm just kind of so, I'm so blessed and so feel so grateful for all of you in my life, and real family. Yeah, definitely. So thank you for being here tonight in satsang with me, and I will see you the next time. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. Oops.